President Obama is pushing Congress to reach a long-term deal on the government's debt ceiling. There are just 27 days before the August 2nd deadline, but the two sides haven't been able to agree on whether to raise taxes. Charlene Israel has that story.
The president says he's opposed to a stopgap short-term deal that just raises the nation's debt ceiling.
I've heard reports that there may be some in Congress who want to do just enough to make sure that America avoids defaulting on our debt in the short term, but then wants to kick the can down the road when it comes to solving the larger problem of our deficit. I don't share that view.
Summoning leaders from both parties to the White House on Thursday to work toward a final agreement.
It's my hope that everybody's going to leave their ultimatums at the door, that we'll all leave our political rhetoric at the door, and that we're going to do what's best for our economy.
Some say if they fail to raise the debt ceiling, the U.S. government could default on its obligations. The limit currently stands at $14.3 trillion. Fiscally conservative lawmakers are demanding deep cuts in the federal debt before voting to raise the ceiling. So far, Republicans and Democrats are having trouble agreeing on a plan. Democrats are demanding tax hikes to go along with budget cuts, but Republicans are holding firm against them.
The time is here for my Republican colleagues to put politics aside. Simply put, we're out of time.
The White House is seeking cuts in the range of $2.4 trillion, including tens of billions in cuts to Medicare and Medicaid, plus more than $400 billion in tax increases over the next decade. The president says any deal must include new tax revenue.
The tax cuts I'm proposing, we get rid of are tax breaks for millionaires and billionaires.
Congressional Republicans have refused to budge on raising taxes as a way to reduce the deficit.
Washington needs to find a way to spend less. Taxing more is their easy way out.
Meanwhile, the White House says that if the government's debt limit isn't reached by August 2nd, the U.S. will face its first ever default, something that could shake economic markets worldwide. Charlene Israel, CBN News.
Another European nation is facing deep financial problems. Moody's Investors Service has cut Portugal's credit rating to junk, even though Portugal just worked out a bailout package in May. Moody's is warning that Portugal may need yet another bailout. One analyst telling Reuters that the problems in Greece may be repeated in Portugal. California lawmakers want the governor to sign a gay history bill. That bill would make the state the first to require public schools to include the contributions of gays and lesbians in their social studies curriculum. The California Assembly passed the bill 49-25. A Democratic assemblyman says the legislation is important because gay students are often bullied. Republicans say it raises concerns that students, though, will be indoctrinated into accepting homosexuality. Governor Jerry Brown has not indicated if he will sign the bill. Former Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger, though, vetoed a similar measure in 2006. Some Christians are calling the bill, quote, sexual brainwashing, and they say it will drive more parents to take their children out of public schools. More than a quarter of adults in the U.S. are obese, and that number is steadily rising. Now we're learning that eating more is only part of the problem. As Heather Sells tells us, folks are also eating more often.
According to a new study, Americans eat 570 more calories per day than they did back in the 1970s. That's roughly a pound a week. Experts say one problem is portion sizes.
We are used to seeing more on our plates, therefore we eat it. When it's in front of us, we consume it.
But even worse than the amount of food on our plates is how often we eat.
We have food everywhere. They're at gas stations. They're at movie theaters. We've got it at, the coffee shops.
Snacking accounts for more than 25% of an American's average calorie intake. In 2006, time spent snacking averaged about 15 minutes per day. In 2008, that number doubled to almost 30 minutes a day. Nutritionists say that Americans are choosing foods more for flavor than nutritional value. That kind of food often leaves you hungry again after only an hour or two. This isn't going to be an easy fix, according to experts. They say it's going to take a little extra willpower to resist food that is so easily accessible. Heather Sells, CBN News.
The directors of California's Crystal Cathedral have voted its founder off the board. The Reverend Robert Schuller founded the church more than 50 years ago. His son says his 84-year-old father wanted to enlarge the ministry's board of directors, But members instead voted him off. It did give the title of Chairman Emeritus to Schuler, but he's not allowed to vote. The ministry has been plagued with problems, including bankruptcy. Chapman University is offering to pay $46 million for some of Crystal Cathedral's property. Political unrest in the African nation of Senegal has Christians there on high alert. Muslim protesters burned down 2 churches in the capital city of Dakar recently. A dispute over the upcoming presidential election sparked riots across the city. More than 100 people have been injured. The government has imposed a curfew and cut off power to much of the city. Christian leaders observed a day of prayer and fasting on Sunday. You can always get the latest from CBN News by going to our website at cbnnews.com.